The only thing I ask for is a mic. You don't have to give me, I don't even need a stage. I don't give a damn. Give me a good mic. And I went through 2 of these today. And it knocks the hell out of your throat. But so far I'm doing okay, right? Okay. Is that better? Yeah. And did you notice I came in today, I said, and you know, this is after 4 of these things. I mean, in all fairness, I mean, I'm a human being, right? I come in, and here's the problem. I said, oh man, it's too low. I said, it's too low. So, I had to go. Way too low. Way too low. So I walk in, I said, shit, there's nothing worse than I walk in like this, and did you notice? I was bending over like this, hello. And then everybody says, is there something wrong with his back? What the hell is wrong with that guy? They're saying, he's cognitively impaired and physically impaired. There's something wrong with them all because I have guys that are stupid back there. All right, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, right? What a shame. But we're gonna come back. I'm gonna give you a free performance back in that corner. You got a bad area back there.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about, yet again, another example of the mainstream liberal media taking a clip of Trump doing something out of context and trying to make it out to be more than what it is, okay? And it's just so hilarious to me. It really is, because this is the reason why people don't trust the media, right? This is why recent polling has come out showing that trust in the media is at an all-time low, because they take everything that Trump does out of context and they try to blow it up into something that is not, okay? And the more that they do this, honestly, the stronger that Trump gets, okay? So, hey, if they want to continue to do it, fine, right? I'm just going to basically make content in which I tell people the truth. I show people the truth, more importantly, and people can decide for themselves, okay? Because CNN, Van Jones, lost his mind over Trump filleting a mic, okay? In which at a rally, Trump was complaining about the audio issues that happens sometimes at his rallies where the mic doesn't work properly, right? And anybody that knows Trump knows that he really does not like when the mics aren't working, okay? Because Trump wants to be heard and he loves the mic, okay? So he was essentially demonstrating the problems that he had with the mic, and liberals took the video out of context, as they always do, and they essentially tried to make it seem like Trump was filleting the mic. And of course, CNN ran with this narrative that Trump is filleting the mic, as if that is actually what he was doing. That was the point of what he was doing. He was trying to be sexually graphic on stage. Clearly he wasn't, right? In full context, he was not, okay? That might be what the liberals think because their minds are in the gutter, but he wasn't doing it. And Scott Jennings has to calmly explain why. I mean, this is just ridiculous to come to this conclusion, but take a look.
And on Friday, I think right around the time that we were coming off the air on Friday, I'm going to play it for you because I don't understand why things like this is happening. Let's play song one.
I'm a human being, right? I come in, and here's the problem. I said, oh man, it's too low. I said, it's too low. So, I had to go.
That's just...
It's obscene. I mean, it is. But he's running for president, right? So is he doing this stuff because he doesn't care? Is he doing it because, as Shermichael seems to think, nobody cares?
Could it
well,
be?
not what I think. The polls say. Let's be clear.
Could it be that he actually doesn't want to be president? Wouldn't it be interesting if it turns out he's doing everything he can
That would be
not to be president?
That would be interesting.
He still winds up winning? Because you can't tell me that filleting a microphone is in anybody's playbook for anything. Am I wrong?
somebody's playbook, clearly, but should not be the playbook of a presidential candidate.
Or anyone else.
Or anyone else. And look, I mean...
Is that what he was doing? Are we sure about this?
My God.
If we had to have the question
just-
2 days before the election whether or not
Look,
the president
he's-
was filleting a microphone,
I'm
we
just
might
asking-
have lost the plot.
That's where you all. That's where all of you all went. Look. He's well known to be very, very picky about
What do you think
the
he was doing?
microphones and
So
the
what do you
audio,
think
and
he
he
was
was
doing?
obviously complaining that the thing was too short. And so
Why
I'm
was
just,
he putting his mouth on it?
I'm just saying, I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, so his mouth was not on the mic, first and foremost. Clearly, Trump was demonstrating what happens when the mic doesn't work, and then he puts his face down to speak into a mic that doesn't work. Clearly, that's what he was doing. Now, Trump knows that also this was a comedy routine, right? So, it was just Trump being Trump, right? Trump doing what he always does at these rallies. And what the liberal media doesn't understand is that is why people like Trump. That is why people love Trump, because Trump is a human being, okay? And nobody who was at that rally reasonably would interpret Trump as purposely trying to be, I guess, sexually grotesque on stage, right? That's not what he was doing at all, right? The only people who could come to that conclusion are the gutter minds on CNN, okay? Who, by the way, are the same people who spent days boohoo whining and crying about Trump making a joke about Arnold Palmer's penis, but for whatever reason were quiet about Obama making a penis joke, basically claiming that Trump's penis was small for the world to hear at the DNC, right? On the DNC stage, okay? Crickets from CNN on Obama making a sexually grotesque gesture on stage at DNC, but again, they want to boohoo, whine, and cry about a joke, and also on top of that, Trump basically demonstrating what happens when a mic doesn't work. And notice how the clip that they played was completely out of context. They didn't play anything at all of Trump leading up to that moment talking about the audio issues of the mic, okay? And this is why you have some of their panelists having to come out and to issue apologies for being fooled by the propaganda of the media, right? Like, for example, we talked about Jonah Goldberg having to come out here and to apologize to Trump for claiming that he wanted Liz Cheney to be executed via firing squad, when clearly that's not what he said in full context, okay? But CNN had showed him a clip out of context and made him react to it, and he came to that conclusion despite not actually watching the full clip. So he goes back and watches the full clip and sees that, oh, wait, CNN fooled me with this out of context clip. I now have to issue an apology. Lo and behold, again, I think that Van Jones probably should do the same thing for suggesting that Trump was filleting a mic when that's clearly not what he was doing, right? Clearly not what he was doing. But again, the point here is to take a clip of Trump out of context and to make it seem like Trump is insane, right? Which is, again, it's funny because when they shut off the clip, right after they shut off the clip, Trump literally says that, yeah, the mainstream media is going to take this out of context and make it seem like I'm losing my mind, right? Literally, Trump points that out right after he does that, right? He literally points out exactly what the media is going to do. And again, this is why nobody trusts the media. They're so predictable. Everybody knows that's what they're going to do. It's just so funny. But again, two can play this game, right? Because if you want to take clips out of context in regards to what people are saying and then spin it into something that is not, yeah, we can play that game. Like, for example, somebody explained to me what Doug Emhoff meant when he said this about his wife, Kamala.
Kamala did what Kamala always does. She just put her head down and she went to work.
Wow. Wow. Kamala did what she always does. She put her head down and she went to work. Now, if my mind was in the gutter like CNN, what conclusion could I come to in regards to what he meant by that, right? Especially considering how there are rumors that, hey, Kamala slept her way to the top. This guy, Doug Emhoff, comes out and basically says that the best thing that Kamala is good at is putting her head down and going to work. Just saying. If I had the same gutter mind as CNN, the only conclusion that I could come to is that he's talking about a sexual act. And why is the husband of Kamala Harris talking about Kamala Harris performing sexual acts, right? Why is he doing that on stage? You see how that works? right? If I was as dishonest as CNN, that is the conclusion that I would come to, okay? And I would spin that as the Democrats talking about inappropriate things at a rally, and then I would just run with that. But because my mind is not in the gutter, okay, and because I'm more honest than CNN, clearly there's more context in regards to what he's talking about, right? So, it's just funny to me because, again, what these people don't understand is that they can try to Joe Biden, Donald Trump, which is essentially what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to make Trump seem like he's mentally deteriorating, that he's losing it, just like Joe Biden, because there was a lot of clips of Joe Biden that went viral. In context, Joe Biden is losing it, right? I mean, I'm just saying, like, Joe Biden is wandering around on stage. He doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't know what he's doing, right? He's being carried off of stage. Now, the media tried to say they were cheap fakes, but we now know that those things were real, right? But again, they're trying to do that to Trump. What they don't understand is that these things that they're taking out of context in regards to what Trump does at his rallies, that's actually the reason why people love him, right? That's the reason why people support him and they love going to the rallies, okay? Because it's entertaining. Trump clearly is appealing to the people, right? By humanizing himself. And this is something that, again, Doug Emhoff admits in an interview in which he makes up some wild story about how young men, although they're attracted to Trump, if they just stop listening to Trump and they actually, started listening to Kamala Harris, all of a sudden they would flip to liking Kamala Harris and voting for her.
What I talk to young men about who might be taken by the, fun side of Donald Trump, such as it is, the dancing, the going to the wrestling matches, going on the podcasts, and trying to portray himself as someone who he really is. And I think Cardi B called this out and said it's just all a hustle. And so what I'm trying to implore young men in particular to do the research. He's not your friend. The policies that he's talking about will not help them in the economy. The policies that he's talking about have nothing to do with them. So they might think he's great, think he's cool, but I was at an event somewhere and I was talking to a mom of a 18-year-old who was nervous and worried that he and his friends were all kind of taken in by this part of Trump. And she just said, please, just go online, watch him, watch the speeches, listen to what he's saying, not the podcast, not him at the wrestling matches or the UFC, the football game. Just listen to his speeches, watch him, and then look at her and watch her. And he came back and said, oh, my goodness, Mom, I'm voting for Harris.
Yeah, that didn't happen, right? That didn't happen at all. Okay, because as Doug Emhoff admits, when you watch Trump, when you pay attention to Trump, clearly you can see that he's a fun guy, right? And that fun, right, that joy that, these people claim was a great thing. It was a good thing when Kamala Harris first got into the race. That joy is present in the Trump campaign and it is absent in the Kamala Harris campaign because she's not doing very well, okay? And because of that, now they want to pretend like joy is a bad thing, right? That people having fun at Trump rallies is a bad thing, right? Notice how the liberal media complains about Trump listening to classy Spotify music at his rallies, right? But they don't have anything to say about Kamala Harris listening to trash music at her rallies where she's having female hip hop artists come in and do ratchet performances, singing songs with sexually explicit lyrics, right? They don't have an issue with that, but they got an issue with Trump, essentially, showing people what it's like when the mic doesn't work, right? And they try to complain about, oh, that's too sexually gratifying. That's too grotesque. We don't like that, right? But Meg Thee Stallion shaking her ass at Kamala's rally, or Glorilla singing sexually explicit songs at a Kamala Harris rally is not too much, right? That's not something that we should be concerned about. Again, these people make me sick. They make me sick. Can't stand them. And stories like this is part of the reason why. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.